Okay, you're going live already?
Already.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're 15 minutes late. Let's do it.
No, let's wait. I'm just kidding.
People are bugging me, particularly Rosa.
Yeah,
TikTok,
she bugged me too.
TikTok.
Yeah.
I got that message.
Did you get the
I
TikTok?
got it too.
TikTok, Taco Tuesday.
Oh.
All right, we're live. Let me just check every...
All right. We are live. Let's see how many people start popping in there.
Periscope, YouTube,
Yeah.
Twitch, Facebook. Boom,
Yes.
good.
Wait for it. Wait, we're not on Mixler. What's going on with Mixler?
Oh,
Well, if
Yeah.
you would have listened last week, Denise would have explained this.
I would have explained.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we used to do this Mixler thing all the time, and that was the best
yeah.
ever. That's where we started. That's our origins right there is Mixler. That's where we started.
and
So
you say the word origin on Mixler, and it sounds like origin.
yeah,
It's really,
so it's
yes, I remember the Mixler days.
yeah, the Mixler days, and now we're no longer Mixler. No more Mixler. I decided because the subscription ended, and I decided, why am I going to spend? Why am I going to pay
Wait,
for another
it wasn't
yearly
that expensive, was it?
Dude, it was like $100 and something bucks. I'm like, why am I gonna
We're
subscribe
worth
and pay $100 and something dollars, almost $200 for a year, when like we get like 5 people in there?
I think it was less.
No, it was actually more. It was like maybe like 28, 30 people that would go in there, but mostly everybody tunes in on Facebook Live and on, everywhere else, Twitch and everywhere else that we go live. That's where everyone else chooses to go. So I'm like, why? You know what? Those 5 Mixler people, they'll be fine. I'm sure they can join one of the other outlets.
Ooh, you called them people.
I did. They are people.
Just those people. Those damn
You
people.
guys go too far with the comedy.
We do.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
But you know what? It's not a bad show yet. So it can be a late show because a late show is eventually a good show, or it can be. But a bad show will always be a bad show. So let's just make it a good show.
You know, a late show happens when
Dan says word.
Word.
A late show happens when when you want people to have that anticipation, for that good show to begin. And I thought, hey, we have an awesome guest, so you know what? Let's make them wait.
You did not.
I'm glad you made that decision.
She was eating tacos while we were waiting for her to log in.
Actually, I wasn't. We actually ended up going to the gym pretty late, and we got back later than expected. And I rushed to the shower because I didn't want to come on all sweaty. That's why my hair's still wet because I just got out of the shower. And yeah, so it took me longer to get.
So the beautiful things about radio, and she just doesn't even care that smell doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know, right? Nobody would have cared that you smelled. Maybe your dog,
Yeah. But I would have cared. I would have known.
I
I feel like we skipped over the first 15 minutes. We just jumped right in and started talking. And
we did. But
so we didn't really lose anything.
No, we didn't. We're doing great. And I just want to say to everybody that's listening, you like my confidence? We're doing great.
Yes.
No, I want to say to everybody that's listening, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining. Please share this video. If you're watching us on Paranormal Warehouse live on Facebook, share the video. If you're watching us on Periscope, share it. Just tag people, invite them to come and watch, share it. Tell them, hey, come join these 2 crazy people and their crazy guest and see what's up tonight. See what we have in store for you guys. Yeah, and tonight our guest is Justin. How do I say your last name? Spurrier, right?
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Hey, I always mess up last names. That's why I had to ask.
Yeah, yours is fairly hard.
Yep.
Too many R's, yeah.
No, yours is difficult.
Mine is. It gets screwed up all the time.
It does.
Yeah.
I've just learned to accept whatever anybody says and go with it.
People say Klaus.
Yeah,
Klaes.
Klaus. I just fake cough whenever I'm saying, "Oh, you're talking about Daniel." Yeah,
yeah.
And
In
no one
House,
really.
Yeah.
They all know.
They
know who you are. They know who you is, who you be.
So how many people watching are excited that we're finally back on? It's Taco Tuesday. We're back. Phenomena Encountered. Back with Dan and Dee and another Another great guest again. Come on, guys. How many? If you're excited, share. Give us hearts. Give us likes. Give us all the cool stuff, and share the video. And I want to give you an opportunity right now, Justin, to just say hi to everybody and just tell them a little bit about you. What is your deal?
Deal.
Yeah.
What's your deal? So, my name is Justin, and I'm addicted to the paranormal.
Yes.
It's true. It's just something we all have in common, I think. But yeah, Justin Spurrier, been doing this for a long time. It just kind of chose me. I don't think I'm not one of the people who chose this. It's just happened to me at a young age, some experiences, and I couldn't deny it, and I couldn't get rid of it. So I just started embracing it, and so I didn't watch it on TV. It's just something that I woke up and found it watching me when I was sleeping, and that was strange. So I guess I'm still waiting for them to fall asleep so I can catch them doing something. And I'm still hunting and searching for answers as to what's going on and why this is all happening. But I have fun with it. I mean, I haven't had a moment that I really truly wanted to quit. But there's been some moments that I had to step back and take a break because it's very consuming and can be on your mentally and emotionally and everything, physically even at times. So I just love doing it. I've been doing it for a long time, and yeah, I have a lot of cool stuff from over the years, and
yeah, and you know,
on your show, talking
about it on our show, and taking those breaks, they're necessary. You know, you do. Sometimes you do have to take a step back, take a little break. You know, replenish, because if you do it constantly, consistently, and just keep going and going and going, it's like, you can, what's the word? You can sort of submerge yourself, and then it's hard to get back out. Yeah.
I like it.
It's true. It's true. It happens.
The paranormal can overtake your mind, and it definitely, I understand it, because it's the same way with me with the Hinsdale house. You know, you got to take a break. You got to have a lot of people helping because it can overwhelm you.
Yeah.
Is it the same way with you? You have you own the Garnet house, and you have other people that help out with there as well, right? Like, you're not just like you and you run the place, and it's I know you're famously known for it online, but
well, this is what happened. I've been wanting to do. I was working with a company where I would give historic tours and do different paranormal events where I would lead groups through, and so I did that for several years, and I was all over the United States in different areas, and it's fun. It's fun to travel. I enjoy it. I like to drive because during a drive I can kind of pull over and check out new places, and so I spent a lot of time on the road, and I eventually thought, with my 3 children here, growing up so fast, I want to be home more. So I figured I would try to find something a little closer to home, and I knew that this was going to be a big thing. No matter how small the house is or the location, still a lot of stuff goes into preserving or restoring anything that's significantly old a lot of times, or at least in my price range.
Right.
So I found this location, and I found a partner, and we buddied up, and we purchased our first location, and Rob Garcia and we've owned this home now for a little over a year. So yeah, it's not just me. There's 2 of us, and we're always looking for volunteers
to this location?
To come and help.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing. What drew you to this location? What made you, how were you drawn to it?
Well, we had actually found another location first, and we were really interested in this other location. It was an old school, and it was built, I remember about 1902, something like that. And for Kansas, I mean, when you start talking about the early 1900s, it's getting pretty old. Out there, out east, it's a lot different. But here, things just don't last that long, or it didn't even exist. The kind of structures you guys have out east. And so, we found this school. We loved it. We started doing some investigations there. Legally, of course. We talked to the owners, And
always
that's
important,
important
children.
to stress
Very,
that.
always important, yes. Do it legally, guys.
Yeah. We kindly asked the janitor to leave and kick the last student out, and we walked in. No, it was one of those things. It had sit, vacant for a long time, and it did have some history, and it was quite gruesome history. But we were pretty much just, had decided this was going to be the place. And as we're talking on the phone late at night, trying to figure out the details before closing on this whole deal, something said in my ear, because that's how us crazy people work. When we hear voices, they just say it. Check again.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did another search. By this time we had probably stopped searching a few days prior. I was always looking. So was he, and I checked again, and there she was. The 1858 Garnett Hotel just popped up, and it was on a short list. We found out it was only going to be listed for about a week, and if it didn't go anywhere, it was to be demolished, or that's what at least a lot of people had planned for to happen to it. So we're thankful that we did find it, but at the same time, it's almost like the house chose us. We didn't really find it; it found us, and we had a little help from this voice. I don't know who it is, but thank you, you creepy bastard. Thank you. He put me in he put us in this place. It's just amazing. So
Sweet.
That's how we found it, or it found us.
And that's usually how it happens, right? Like, and I know it sounds like really cliche, or it's the same thing with people say, okay, I didn't choose it, it chose me, or I didn't find it, it found me. But that's usually how it happens, and then that's how you know that you're doing what you're supposed to do, or that it's the right path. That's how you know. It's almost like, I'm sure you were drawn to it in a sense, and it just felt like that's what you had to do, like you were on the right path with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think everyone would agree with you hear a voice in your head, and then that means you're on the right path. Some people might say that's Satan tempting us.
Demons.
But I look at it as, okay, here we go. That's pretty much how I answer every time something happens that's really cool and I can't explain it. Was, well, here we go. Let's do it. And that's kind of what I do, and that's what we did. We just jumped right in, and from day one, we had no idea the activity, that went on in this place. I'm kind of a believer that I can get a spirit to come and talk to me anywhere. It don't matter if I'm in the middle of Kmart. It don't have to be that a person died right there and they're confined, to this room, and that's just not typically the way things seem to work. And I wasn't concerned about that.
I was going to say, the more that you practice and the more that you search for it, it seems to draw in that way, right? Draws in more, possibly.
Yeah, that sounds
Have you ever had any instances of spirits or things that are unexplained that you can't really tie to the history or the house happen there?
Well, I'm sure we have. I mean, there's so much, Dan. It's like the things that we get, we're compiling it all and trying to piece it together. Okay, here's this guy's voice here, and here it is over here, and I try to look at the things that he's responding to, intelligently, and I just try to find where these people fit in. But they just unfortunately don't always come out and say, I'm such and such. I lived here during this time, or hey, I'm just passing through. Thought I would mess with you for a while, but it's kind of a open mic night whenever you fire up some of these devices and you draw them in. But all of that aside, stuff just goes on there all the time. It has its moments, like any spot. You never know what's going to cause something to happen, or when, or if it will happen. But it definitely happens more than most other places that I've been. And I couldn't tell you why, other than there's a lot of history there. But
now, what has for you? What's gone into having digging up the history and going through and finding? I mean, because I'm sure there's always new things you're finding out or in researching. Does it take up a lot of your time really digging through the history of the place?
Yes. So what we had found in the very beginning, when we found the listing for this place, was it said blah blah blah. This is the specs of the home, and the pictures made you look, oh my God, it's gonna fall over. It's gonna fall over. And then it said something that caught my attention was, an old was the town's first hotel, and
cool.
that it noted a few famous guests who were said to have stayed there, like just a few of them. And so we had that to go off of, and so we were going to the historical site. Of course, in the beginning, we're gung ho, we're going everywhere. We're the library, we're online. I'm up all night like Gilbert Gottfried. I mean, I'm on the computer nonstop. You guys know Gilbert Gottfried?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, of course.
Just don't start talking like him.
Please, no.
No, Denise, you got to do it. You got to do it. USA all night. Do it.
USA up all night.
There it is. Oh, the show just became great.
Yes, it did. It just went up 20 notches.
I don't even remember what that girl looked like. I remember Gilbert. Isn't that weird? I remember what he looked like. I don't remember what she looked like. But now you fill the spot, so in my mind.
USA up all night. There you go.
That one was for Dan.
That was for Dan.
Yeah, that was nice.
So we started looking into this, all the books and everything, and fortunately, there were actually some local authors who cared about what was going on, and they documented a lot of stuff in their books. Mm-hmm. But sadly, much of the events. This was the town's, the first hotel, but it was also the first board and batten structure or stick-built type home. Everything before that were log cabins. So with that said, they didn't have a paper local. They didn't have a lot of things going on. So this was a first for pretty much the whole county and much of this whole state, this whole part of the state. And so we weren't able to find a lot of this stuff until later documented in any form other than these books that were written about the history and the information passed down through the generations. And really, that's all you can do. If you don't, you have to kind of go off of that, because every rumor, or every little story we hear starts from something, and most likely, this would all be true. It's just that we found it in books from authors from years and years ago, because there were no papers. But then, like I said, as time went on, we were able to start finding guest check-in list for the hotel, and then.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. It happens.
Did we lose him?
He's in Kansas, so sometimes sometimes it happens,
Uh-oh. He went off. I'm sure he's still there.
He actually warned me about this happening, it happens all the time for him.
Oh no. And the thing is, I'm looking at Skype, he's still in the call.
Right.
So I wonder if he can even hear us.
Justin, give us a sign. We lost him. I heard the hang up.
Did we?
Yeah, you just have to call him back, that's all.
Okay,
it's not a big deal. I mean, it's gonna.
Yeah, let's call him back.
It's the things you just have to deal with Justin, and it's spirits fucking with him.
Yeah, you know what, and that you know what, I want to touch on that, because before we went live, we were talking.
You guys remember my Dandroid days, right? Come on.
Oh yeah, Dandroid.
I know I blamed it on Denise's internet.
No, but that wasn't my internet. That was just you.
Yeah, it was bad. I had to go gung-ho and get more bandwidth here for sure.
I just noticed what happened.
What?
I got larger.
Well, yeah, that's what happens with Skype. They make your picture bigger. So now you must call them back again.
It's calling.
Let me tell you a funny story about Shaylee last night. When I went, when we were sleeping, I was kind of like spooning my wife. And Shaylee, I hear these little pitter-patter footsteps coming down the stairs. It's probably like 2:30 in the morning. And she says, "Mommy, can I snuggle you?" And I was, of course, snuggling her. And she gets on the bed, and she's all mad. And she goes, "Mommy, push him away." And me and Colleen just started dying laughing. It was so much fun. It was like she was pissed that I was in her spot.
Oh.
That was funny, though.
Is he back on?
I didn't know.
I don't think he is. Let's add him. Let's add him back on. Hold on.
Can you
Mm-hmm.
give everybody a couple do's? You know,
Do,
like
do, waiting, waiting. Let's do it again.
anybody in the chat is gonna be in at the USS. Where am I gonna be? Little Rock or Little Rock? I'm thinking Buffalo. I have all these warships in Buffalo. I don't even know what the heck I'm thinking here because it's like mad crazy. Anybody gonna be at
Mm-hmm.
the USS Hornet this weekend at the Nick Roth tour? It's Friday and Saturday night. Raise your hand if you're going to be at the Hornet this weekend. I'm looking forward to hanging out and
Raise your
investigating
hand
with
because
people.
we can see you.
Well, they can make like a little gesture of some kind in the chats, you know.
A gesture of some kind. It's not allowing me to get him back on for some reason on Skype.
Do you have enough Skype credits?
Yes, I do.
These are things we need to worry about with Denise lately, you know, like did she pay her bill? Did she pay the Skype
No, of
credits?
course
She
not.
just let
I,
Mixler go to the wayside and
because Mixler is not needed anymore.
you're starting to sound like Moon. We love
Oh my
Mixler.
God. If you want me to get Mixler back, we can get Mixler back.
It's like nostalgia. It's like having a landline phone, you know, and you just want to keep your line, but then you want to get rid of it too. Like you don't
Mm-hmm.
who has a landline phone anymore, you know? Who has
It's
Mixler?
true.
Who uses Mixler? Paratalk Radio?
I think
I think
we
they
need to
still do.
find out. We need to find out if he's even online still. I'm going to message him.
Well, you could try calling him on actual Skype. Did you um, add him?
I can.
See if that works. You'll know if he's online.
Okay. He just messaged me. What happened? I told him we lost you.
Tia says she's
Okay.
got a landline still. I haven't had a landline in like probably like 10 years. What's up, Mike Page? What's up, Pedro?
He said that it's strange. His phone. Okay, let's try it again.
All right. Man, a lot of people. I wonder how many people still have landlines. Really?
I don't have a landline. Do you have a landline?
No, I haven't had one in 10 years.
I have not had a landline in quite some time.
I hope everybody got their taxes filed or filed for an extension. Now, the IRS has given us one more day because of some errors online. So if you didn't get it done, make sure you have it done by tomorrow or get that extension filed. You don't want to have to pay penalties. Unless you're getting a ton of money back, but if usually the people that have a ton of money coming back have already filed like the day you first can file, you know.
It's not letting me add him back on.
I don't get it.
I don't understand. I'm trying to add him and it's just not. Let me tell him to get. Let me tell him to get on his Skype. Wait, I heard something.
There he
There
is.
he is.
I heard you.
There.
My gosh, you guys. I was talking. No one answered. And then no one called me back. So I started singing the Titanic theme song and like, wherever you are.
Oh,
And still nothing.
You,
Wow, that was
you
Finished
played
the whole
your own
song.
music, your own waiting music. That's cool.
My own. I had my
Your
arms
own,
out. Like
your
I'm on
own
a boat.
elevator music.
I'm on a boat.
Yay, everybody,
but
we got
nothing.
him back. You know what's so funny, though? Because we were trying to call you back, and it wouldn't go through, and it wouldn't go through. I'm like, okay, something's going on. And then Dan was reminding everybody, all the listeners, back when we first started on Mixler, on the old back in the old days, and we used to get Dan on, and it was so funny because we started calling him Dandroid because he needed better bandwidth because everyone would use the internet at his house, and then he'd get on with me and it would be like that's how we would hear, and he sounded like a fucking robot.
Yeah, Dustin Perry gave me the name Dandroid.
Yeah, he did. And then
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny
Well,
that
it's
he
hard
goes,
when you're poor to pay that
Dan
extra
goes,
$50 for more internet service that you
what
don't think you really
makes
need.
that story funnier is that then Dan sees Dustin Perry at one of those Paracons, and he goes up and he tells him, "Hey, you were on my show. My name's Dan Klaes." He didn't know who he was, and then he tells him, "Dandroid." He's like, "Oh."
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Who? Dandroid. Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Dandroid. You didn't know him by his name, but you knew him by Dandroid. I thought that was hilarious.
Now you just drop the H word. You're like, Hinsdale, yo. What?
Yeah,
That's you?
that's right. Now you just dropped the H
You-
word.
You don't want
We have to keep that in consideration, though. Like,
You don't have to drop. You don't want to
Hinsdale
drop
and Garnet House spirits.
Yeah, exactly.
They might just be working against us tonight.
They
Because I've
definitely
seen
could.
some creepy stuff come out of Hinsdale. Ooh.
Yes. So tell us some of your. I watched some of your scopes. Now Justin's a big scoper. He's a big scoper. He's like
That's
one of
awesome.
the probably he's got a couple scopes set up, and he does a lot of stuff for the people out there. He's a people man. And there's lots and lots of people out there that like to watch live feeds and love to watch the house that when you have these you do different setups and try different things for them. I mean, what's some of the thought processes that you use to set up these scopes for people to make you make them so I look what you do and I look like, say for instance, what I would do, and I think, wow, his is so much more interesting. And he does because he sets things up and he does some cool stuff with it.
That's cool.
So in the beginning, and this can take a turn, but I'll take it slowly here. In the beginning, we didn't really do anything except set up, the camera pointing towards one section of the room, and we knew by this point in time only one thing in that area had happened that would be able to be witnessed on camera, probably, and that was this whole beach ball thing. What had happened and then how that started was we bring some different, trigger things in for Rob and I. We were investigating quite a bit in the beginning and probably a little too much. We were going there to get stuff done and we would clock in, talk for about 30 minutes and then set up shop and we'd investigate. We weren't getting a whole lot done on the house because we were so excited from all the activity that was going on. But he had brought this beach ball and I got tired of kicking it around on the floor, and I kind of got frustrated with it, and I put it in the closet, and I walked away, and I got about 15 feet away, and the thing came back out of the closet. And I thought, okay, so maybe I just, it's kind of an off-balance beach ball because it has an LED light in it. So on one side, is a little heavier than the other, and I thought I just set it up there funky, and it came out. The house leans, maybe the closet's leaning or something, and so I put it in there, and it was fine. And so the next day, it's back out. Oh, no, it was about an hour later. It was back out again when I went upstairs, and I was like, okay, now that's weird. It was all the way across the room. So I put it up again, and then the next day, when I had came back, it was out. And then this just became a thing. I was like, we got to catch this thing, but how? And so we had just got the security camera and stuck it in there, and it started happening. It just kept going and going, and we've captured it on camera probably 15 to 20 times that it was actually captured, and it's happened to people who were in the home investigating. At least a couple people that I know have had it fly out while they were had rented the place.
Wow.
So it's not a wonky ball or a wobbly closet. It's actually being thrown out of there, and so that was the first thing we had focused the camera on, that section. And then people were starting complaining, well, we need a clock. We need a clock. Everyone needs something.
Yeah, always, right?
So Rob comes, we were talking, and Rob comes back with this clock. And he puts it on the door of the closet. I mean, who puts the clock on the inside of the closet door? But we do. And people were like, I can't see it. It's like a 16-inch clock, and it's too far away to read in the night vision, So I come back with this 28-inch clock, and it's kind of funny because I stuck it next to the wheel of my car whenever I had bought it. I stuck it out there, and it was bigger than my wheel and tire. And this guy drives by with this, like, I don't know, it wasn't an Impala. It was like a Mercury Capri or something. He's like, "Oh, that's tight." And I'm like, "Well, it's just a clock. It's just a clock." But it was huge, and I got pictures of it next to my car. It was awesome. So I knew this thing was going to work, and I stuck it up there, and sure enough, it does. But it does the trick. People can see it because they want to see that it's not. I say that they want to know it's a real video and not a still picture, but people on Facebook tend to think that the clock doesn't move, because they're only there for 24 seconds before they say this is BS. And the clock hasn't moved, and I've been here for 20 seconds. That's because they don't have a second hand. But either way, we put up a clock, and then it just kind of went from there. I thought we need to give them more, give them a little bit better things than just watching a ladder in a closet. So we started putting Furbies and different dolls there, and we didn't know what was going to work. And some of those things haven't done anything other than sit there, but they have a fan base. Every doll has a fan base.
What do you think is the most?
And dolls have been donated.
What do you think is the most? What was the most famous doll out of all of them? Who gets them? Who wants to be seen the most?
Man, I don't know. I don't know that there is a certain one. We kind of rotate them in and out, but we try to add new ones and give them. We usually let the Periscope viewers name the dolls.
Gotcha.
And
so, what are some of the names?
So that we have. So Rob comes with more dolls than I do. He lives in the city where there's a lot of antique places. So if he finds something creepy or weird, he'll bring it back. And we got names like McJiggles.
McJiggles.
He's this clown with McJiggles, and he has a sand butt.
Nice.
And so the only thing I could think that's happened with him were two things. He took a dive one time off of a bookshelf, and he shouldn't have, because he's got a sand bottom. He's weighted down, and he took a face plant like a few feet away from that bookshelf, and he was attacked by a bird because McJiggles is holding a few little balloons and on a wire, and a bird had gotten the house, and I caught him on the camera just pecking the crap out of those balloons, and McJiggles standing there smiling. But yeah, so McJiggles is loved by the birds.
I love it. Now, have you not been on a lot lately, or what? I mean, there's I have somebody saying, "Can you ask Justin to tell it to start doing some more scopes? We're all feeling deprived," and that was from some people on Periscope.
Oh, who said it?
My name is No.
Oh,
you know who that is?
My name is No.
My name is No.
Okay, so
my name is No.
I know who she is, and
yes,
I want to do more. So this was, like we talked about, we sometimes take these little breaks, and we are in the works of something super cool, and it's also tax season, so that's hard when you work for yourself and you have multiple things that you have to figure out. So I do it a few times a year anyway, but especially this time of year, I usually check myself in the Spurrier psych ward, and I turn everything off. There's no phones allowed, so that's kind of where I disappear to. And then again, when I come home and I hadn't seen the kids for the day, I'll turn it off so I'm not bothered. But,
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I do plan on doing more. And the balance with Periscope is I have a lot of people that don't want to watch the rooms sit there. They want to, see me, and they want to talk. And if I'm just doing the room via the OBS or whatever, where they just watch it and I'm not even on there, I find that I lose a lot of followers doing just that too. But I'm trying to keep everyone happy. So it's a balance. I try not to overdo it too much. So,
yeah, you got to keep that balance. I have an interesting question here from Tia Summerhalder. She's watching on Facebook. She says, Justin, what is the scariest places you've been to, or I guess the most haunted or scariest hauntings that you've seen?
That's where I was talking about. This could take and I haven't been to Hinsdale yet, so there's still that.
There is, yeah.
But that's where I was going with this whole thing that could take a turn. When I was telling you that, I've been to a lot of the places that were on TV, or has been on TV, and a lot that haven't. And America's Top 10. Every website has their own version of that. Most haunted places in Kansas, next to a barn, by a silo. I mean, they've narrowed it down to fit wherever they're at. But so I've been to the prisons, and I like to privately rent the things for a small group, because the large public things are not a great way to have a good personal experience and believe that it was actually something. When you got 200 people running around, makes it tough. So I always try to rent something for exclusive, few of us. And so I've done that to Mansfield several times, and been just a lot of places, but none. And I've had some scary moments where I've seen things or mostly felt things, but it wasn't until I got this house that I truly had to recheck myself, and I had to think, like, you know, this is different. Something here is different, and maybe it's because I'm there more than I am in, you know, some prison that I rent once a year. You spend more time there, so you have more things happen. And it kind of gets to you because sometimes you're there alone, sometimes it's day, sometimes it's night, and so you just have a numbers thing where a lot more things can happen. But the spirits get to know you more too. I suppose that could hold true. And they're like, well, now we know what he really don't like, or what he's not afraid of. Let's try this. So maybe they evolve and work around what they learn about you. Who knows?
Makes sense.
The things that we've had happen there is it's pretty intense, and I would like to not have to say that because there's so many great locations out there that I've been to, and I want to send people to. But I would have to say that the freakiest things are starting to come from there, but that could be because I'm there more often.
That could be too. I mean, you're putting so much of your time into it. You're spending a lot of time there researching it and just trying to find out everything you can about it. So
I think that has a lot to do with it, because it's, you know, similar with me, you know, with Hinsdale. So I mean, I hear what, you know, it's like I could be saying what you're saying. You know, I feel like the same way. You know, like definitely. They become familiar with
right.
you.
I mean,
so what I believe is, like, the more the spirits get to know you. I mean, you're always going to be there. You're going to be familiar with them. They're going to know who you are. The more you're there, the more they're going to want to interact with you. So I feel like you'll get more activity there than you would anywhere else. In the same way with Dan, like, he's going to get a lot more activity at Hinsdale than he would anywhere else. The spirits already know him, you know. So that could be part of it.
Yeah. That could be.
And they want to know if you ever go to Hinsdale, Justin, will you do a live feed from Hinsdale? Wouldn't that be cool?
I would love to. I mean, that would be
Justin,
that would be great, and hopefully you'd be there.
Little do you guys know that Justin and I have secretly been working on this, but we're not going to tell you when, but it will happen very soon.
Awesome.
Spurrier Paranormal live from the Hinsdale house.
Just like tacos.
Well,
they'll be here any day now.
Dee's got to make us tacos, though. She's got to come to make the tacos.
Invite me, and I will go make tacos.
I don't know, Justin. Should we invite her? She might be late.
What do you think?
Well, as long as she brings us tacos eventually, you know. I mean,
I'll bring
cold
the tacos.
Tacos are good at 1 in the morning.
Yeah. All right, Dee, you're in.
Yeah, I'll bring the tacos.
You're in. Yeah.
Go live. We'll eat tacos. Investigate. It'll be good. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
She just saw that post about us being referred to as ice cream, so she's has her own visions, I suppose.
Yes.
Come on now, it'd be fun.
Woo!
We'll have some. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be fun. It'll be the paranormal snack tacos. Yeah, why not? We'll have some pickles to go along with it.
Nope. Pickles.
Dan likes pickles.
See, here she goes.
And you're not a big fan of the smell of pickles. But Dan likes pickles, so
I'm okay with pickles. You know what it is my daughter watches this TV thing on YouTube called Smelly Belly TV. I don't know if any parents are familiar with the Smelly Belly TV.
What you filth of it, parents are you?
But at the end of every show, they say, "Eat your pickles, kids," and that's what they say at the end of every show. So,
Dan, what the hell are you letting her watch? Eat your pickles, kids.
So
do you know what my kids watch? They watch Golden Girls and Mr.
Nice.
Hot Dogs, and you're like, eat your pickles, kids.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. It's a good show. She snorted. It's a good show.
She has an Eat Your Pickles Kids shirt. I had to special order it for her from the Smelly Belly TV.
Oh my gosh! You got to make some adult sizes for us.
Oh, they have them. Well, I can get us some. But we've had. Do you know the story behind the pickles, Justin? Did you ever see that episode? I like to tell the story. So how we started the hashtag pickles is you know the show I do with Bernice, right?
Right.
So we were doing it on a Thursday, and following the show was Moon and Dee doing box talk. So Moon and Dee approached me and said, Dan, I know you like to come into the chat room and razz us a little bit, a lot, every show. Could you please? This is a very serious show. We're going to be talking about past lives. I said, oh, I'm no problem. I won't say a word. I'll let you guys do your thing, and it's a very serious show, right? So at the end of now this Bernice's show.
I should have never told them
Bernice's show was like blowing up, like 600-700 people watching it, towards the end, and we were getting towards the end, and I'm like, okay, guys, I'm proud to announce that there's a new show on after us tonight. They're on their third show. It's Chris Moon. He's an international psychic. He's going to be answering questions for you guys. In order to get your questions answered first, you got to put #pickle or # John Wilkes Booth. I'm going to end my feed now and then jump over to their feed. It's going to be on in 2 seconds, and make sure you're hashtagging all that, right? So, dude, everybody in there is going #pickle, # John Wilkes Booth, and then they're finally they start recognizing some of the guests that are in the chat room. He's like, why is everybody hashtagging pickle? Oh, Dan, and it was just like, so and Dee couldn't stop laughing for 20 minutes of the show. It was hilarious.
Because everybody went in the chat room and they were like,
classic.
Pickle, # John Wilkes Booth. What will my grandmother tell me? I'm like, what? Why are you asking me with a pickle?
We even had pickle pillows made for us and sent to all of us. And then Chris is like, Chris got one sent to me. He's like, how did I get in on this pickle stuff? Like it was funny.
And if you go back and watch that episode, it's hilarious because you see Chris and he's reading the chat room and he's scrolling through the chat room and he's going and going and going and then he says, why is everyone #pickles? Everybody. Yeah. On there, it's great. Oh, I see. Real quick, I'm sorry, guys. I need to. Real quick, this is really important. I see my friend Astrid Trotter. She's in the chat room. Hi, Astrid. Thanks for joining. And I want to say this is really, really, really important. She's got a GoFundMe page, and she's trying to raise money for her treatment. She's fighting the terrible monster disease that is MS, and she's trying to fundraise for her treatment for MS, and she's not quite there yet, and it's been very difficult to get people to donate to her page. So I'm going to ask everybody to please, 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 whatever you can donate, any little bit helps. She really needs it right now. Astrid, if you're still watching, please put in the link into the comments, please. I promised her that I would say this, and I want for the people that are watching to click on that link that I want her to put in the chat room there.
Share it and pin it so people can find it.
Yeah. So put it into the chat room, Astrid, and I will pin it, and everyone will be able to find it right away. Because we want anyone who can donate, whatever you can donate, will definitely help her. Thank you so much. So as soon as you can, please put that up there, Astrid. And I just wanted to take the moment to say that. Mm-hmm. And now back to our very, very serious show.
Pickles.
Pickles.
It's just funny how those things evolve and take off of a comment.
I know.
One comment, and that's kind of what's happened over on Periscope with me and pineapples, and it's just weird. I get pictures of people who have went and bought pineapple leggings, and they send the picture. I mean, these are amazing to me because hello, leggings with pineapples. That's just super cool. But and they did it because of me and pineapples, and I'm not even a fan of pineapples. I like them; they're okay, but not on pizza. But what happened was how that started with me was I would ask the spirits, can you test this for me by saying the word pineapple? And I would be doing an EVP recording, and I'm always looking for a 3 or more syllable word. So that was one of them that I found easy to understand when they say it, but also very clear and able to understand what they were saying if it was indeed what I thought I heard. And so pineapple, and then it got to be a thing where I would just say pineapple when I would hang up with the ghost box, I would disconnect and they would repeat it back until one day a spirit comes through and says, no, tomato. So now I have a spirit that every time I sign off pineapple says tomato. And so I suppose we'll start getting little pin cushions and stuff with needles in them and tomato pin cushions. Isn't that what my great aunt had, like a tomato that you would stick these needles in when she crocheted? I don't know. Tomatoes will probably be the next thing. But pineapples have taken off, and
Nice.
we get a lot of pineapple memes and things, and it's all because of, one word
Mm-hmm.
and the
That's
spirits.
how it happens.
Oh, they're reminding me on Periscope that we do have one character named at the Hinsdale house as well. So today, a little mouse that likes to run around. His name's Paramouse.
Oh yeah, the mouse.
Yeah.
Paramouse.
Yeah,
Okay.
Paramouse. Yeah.
I haven't seen Paramouse, but I've heard about Paramouse.
I've seen him. He's a good little guy.
Paramouse. Paramouse Pictures presents the Hinsdale House.
He takes care of all the spiders for us, and just leaves the webs.
That's fantastic.
Keeping it nice and keeping it nice and spooky in the basement for everybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My face just froze again on the video, and it looks very weird.
I can fix that.
Look at the way I'm froze. It looks like I'm like concerned about something. Like it looks like you said something about spiders, and then my face froze like that. Like.
There. How's that? It's like one of your teacher faces.
It is. There, that's better.
Teacher faces.
I was frozen pretty bad.
Oh.
So
what I wanted to finish saying, if it's okay, like this
please.
is like a big thing for me, was I love you guys. No, I mean I do, but that's not what I was going to say. I was trying to say that with these setups, because you were asking about the setups,
Yes.
and oh man, I have a new puppy, and she's in the back yelping away.
Justin, let's not get off on tangents here.
Coming through.
Let's not get off on tangents. Let's just speak about these
sorry,
setups. No, I'm just kidding.
puppy. If you love puppies, type a 1 in the chat right now.
if you love puppies,
I love puppies.
I do too. I love puppies.
The double D love puppies.
Denise isn't talking about the little things that are on 4 legs.
I am talking about that, Daniel.
Yeah,
Daniel
right.
Klaes. I love puppies. Little. I have my. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Back to the setup, Justin.
Okay.
Let's
So,
just
I guess
say what you're going to say.
What I was going to say was, so I started changing things up, and sometimes I try to hold back because I'm like, I don't want it to look hokey. I don't want dolls sitting everywhere balancing, but I wanted to give them something a little bit more exciting when we can't always change the camera positions. I mean, it's a smaller location, so you only have so many angles to work with. So bringing new objects in and new things gets people excited, and it gets me excited, and hopefully the spirits. So I found that with this beach ball, it went stale. Nothing happened for about a month. I said, okay, we worn it out. Let's just take the ball and put it away. We did. And then I pulled it out about a week or two ago and set it at the top of the stairs. Now, it's an old house, and there's always going to be drafts. This thing is insulated with straw. So, that you can expect some drafts. But the interesting thing is I can balance a beach ball or a doll or anything, a candlestick, and nothing moves when this wind will blow through. I mean, the 60-mile-an-hour windstorms, nothing moves. The house sounds like it's falling apart on the streams, but nothing moves. So if I set a ball on a ladder or on a railing and it sits there for more than 48 hours through the storms, then I get kind of like, okay, that's enough for me to think if something happens now, it's not 100% proof, but it's interesting to me.
Right.
Now, to the other people, maybe it's I could sit it there and walk away and it falls off, and I'll say, oh my God, did you see that? But to me, it's not anything. But some people have their own opinions on what's paranormal and what's not. So I make them jump through a lot more hoops. I find stuff interesting, but if it's not sitting there for a long time, then it's not that exciting to me. So I started setting more and more up and found these things would stay put for the longest times and through the roughest winds. And then for no reason, in the middle of the day, something will happen, or in the middle of the night, stroke at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., something would happen. So, I try not to overdo anything on the camera with all of these dolls, but it's just so hard not to try new things and put things in places that make it easy enough for the spirits to move, but still not too questionable of whether or not a semi went by and vibrated the thing off. Okay. So I listen to audio. I rely a lot on the audio. If something corresponds with what happened, then that means a lot more to me than anything. But, it is 2018, and my Instagram's full of people saying I'm using fishing string, and I'm sitting there in the blistering cold for 40 hours waiting to pull that off, so the door will move and things like that. But I assure you, that's not the case. And what I hate so much, you guys, is I don't like releasing these videos, even though I want to. I don't, because you know how many times can a beach ball fly out of a closet and be meat to someone, and all these Snapchat photos of ghosts and 1,000 lockers flying open, and people, they just go crazy. But then if I did something like that, it's automatically going to be labeled as fake, and that's just not a good representation of how paranormal activity works in general. Usually you don't have this. I've not had this in 24 plus years of not seeing hardly anything move. And so I even tell the viewers, I said, you guys, I hate this because it's so cool, but you're going to go to someone else's stream and this isn't going to happen. And then I'm going to look bad because it's only happening on mine, or else, something like that. And I can't control it.
Now that we have multiple streams up, things are happening on all of them.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's cool because you were like the innovator of it. And now we have 8 or 9 different streaming places, and we've caught shadow figures. We've caught things move, and we've caught. It's not just at your place. And you know what? There's always going to be doubters. Because and just you just learn to deal with them. That is what it is,
And I wasn't meaning just with you guys or with Malvern. I mean, I know you guys are using the like ovuluses and balloons and stuff, and that's great. I mean, that's what I wanted to see, because that makes it more interesting to me to watch something. Because I'm not necessarily an orb watcher. I don't just sit there and watch for orbs all night, but I've seen some pretty cool ones that correspond with great audio, especially from Hinsdale, of all places. I see a lot of that crazy orb stuff that goes on. But yeah, just in general, people were going around to places here wanting to find new haunts and stuff like that, and I just don't like them seeing this stuff locally and thinking that this is how it's always going to be, and then they get discouraged and either get mad at us or get mad at the field because it's not happening to them. And so I'm always trying to protect the field and how it evolves and goes from here, because I feel like we've had a few setbacks in the past from different things that have happened and kind of hurt the progression of the direction we were headed. So it's important to me to try to always put that out there, that it's kind of like the little saying on the side view mirror, that it may not be exactly as seen or whatever it says. I don't know, I never who reads that, but it's not always that way.
Unfortunately, it is.
There's my dog.
Yeah, I hear him.
Sounds like a Doberman.
I think you knew that, but it is. Yeah, it's my new Dobie puppy.
Aww.
And she's mad because I had to take food and water away tonight. So.
Oh.
She just wants to eat.
What? Another question I wanted to ask you is I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about, because we're approaching near the end here, and I wanted to give you a chance to say
not the end.
What? Well, it's not the end yet, but we're getting close. We're nearing the end. And I just kind of wanted to ask and give you an opportunity, to talk about what sort of things do you have coming up? What can we be expecting? But before, actually, wait, something, I always do this, Dan's going to laugh. Before you answer that, I have an interesting question I want to ask you. I always do this. Dan always laughs at my, what I wanted to ask you was, from where you started to now, because I know you mentioned how you're addicted to the paranormal and this is what you do and you love doing this and all that. But what I wanted to ask was, from where you started to now, how have you seen your style, investigative style and research and all that evolve? What sort of things have you changed, and do you see it continuing to change?
Well, I do think I'm sure it's changed. I have some cassette tapes from back when before I even knew, that you could do this stuff, and I was listening to the EVPs from back then. So hearing those now, of me being like 5 years old, 6 years old, 8 years old, and singing to myself in the bedroom, playing games, whatever. I had my first recorder. I was having fun, and hearing those EVPs then, I also try to look at it as how has that changed, because maybe those things change as well. It's not just us. Maybe the spirits have learned to adapt to how we have changed and do things differently. So I always look at it both ways. Like, I look at it not just for what I've done that's different, but maybe what they're doing different now, because surprisingly, I caught a lot of stuff and I didn't even know about it back then. But when I do go back and listen to where I started, where I was intentionally trying to communicate with them, of course, in the beginning, it's like, "Are you there?"
Right.
"Hello." God, I got nothing. When I actually did get something, I just didn't have any way to to really hear it, because I was so, dumb and young and learning. But so I've definitely came a long ways. But I've found that the biggest part of it for me is the spiritualism and your own spiritual growth and your connection to the other side. So what's really helped me the most is accepting the fact that, or believing in the fact, not fact, because we don't know, but believing in the idea that the other side is just like here. There's a network of people, and you can build a relationship, and you can get a reputation.
Absolutely.
And this is just how I've worked it for years.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, and that's what I found to work the best for me is, and it's not like, "Oh my God, it's him, he's here." They don't do that, but it's like, "Do you know me?" And I sometimes say that. I even hate asking that. "Can you say my name?" And and they do, but say my name, say. But
oh shit!
"Oh, if there's a ghost around me." So I ask them to say my name sometimes, I say, "Do you know me?" Or "Do you know who I am?" And they'll say it. And so that to me is interesting, that I'll ask them how they found me, and they'll actually say a name of a person whom I remember or recall talking to or have logged down in my notes somewhere, and it actually makes sense and lines up sometimes, not always.
Wow.
Sometimes they just BS me or I don't understand, but I do have logs of like the names and stuff for the past several years, and that's kind of how I track my progression, but I don't look at it that often. I've worked offline for my whole time doing this. I just kind of went online in 2012, and I really don't post evidence clips until just this year, pretty much. So this is all new to me. I have a lot of stuff that I've never released or don't even know if I want to, because now everyone automatically assumes, like I said, it's fake or it's not interesting because it's not new. But to me, it's interesting to look back and see how I did things differently.
I think a lot of people concur. Like Just Deb, for instance, on Periscope, right? She said, "Justin, you rock. Thanks for all that you do," right? I mean, it's people appreciate the approach that you take, and making it interesting, and actually allowing people to come in to the location that otherwise maybe couldn't get to Kansas or can't travel but love the paranormal and can't actually get out to do it. I mean, you're giving them live feeds. I mean, it's amazing, and it's really cool.
That's great.
You know what I mean? So,
unfortunately, it's like it's not exciting to do what I do. I mean, to watch me do what I do a lot of times. So I wouldn't have a big audience if I didn't have the location and something for them to look at. It's just not that interesting. So you almost have to bubblegum it up a little bit and make it exciting for them, and that's where things like the dolls come in and the fun names and the new places and stuff. But to me, I can get more done and feel like I've accomplished more sitting in my basement doing my own few little tests and than driving across the country and saying, "I'm going to talk to the spirits of this place." I think I could probably reach them if I wanted to from home, but it's part of the fun, and it's no fun to watch if you're just sitting there at a table with a voice recorder, and no one sticks around on Periscope or Facebook when you do that. So I like having a location. We're blessed to have that, and especially an active one. So
yeah,
I appreciate everyone that comes in and all the super hearts and all of the shares and everything. It's been a fantastic journey.
I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it just in case people are wondering. Is there public tours, and can people come and spend the night at your location? How would they do that if they can?
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't done the tours portion yet. Where we don't have someone there to just take a $5 donation or something to let someone walk through, because it is a small town. We're not in the big city. We don't have traffic like that, and the word's not out that much yet. But we do have an online website, as opposed to an offline website, which wouldn't work.
No.
We have a website that you can
Right.
go to, 1858hotel.com, and that has kind of a historical side, and it's a work in progress. We're still working on it and building. We haven't had time to do everything that we want to, but it's a great place to get information, as well as a paranormal tab that will take you over to a kind of like a mimicking sister site, which just talks about the paranormal stuff and less of the historical stuff. So they kind of have an option when they come in. If they don't want to see that stuff, they just want to read about the history and the famous guest and whatnot, they can do so. Or there's a calendar where you can look on there, find the date that's available, and then you just send us an email, and we, we're still in our infancy, trying to get that a little more high tech, where you can just say, I want this, and here's the deposit or whatever. But right now, you just have to contact us through email and say, hey, we're interested, and Rob or I will respond, and it's pretty painless.
Cool.
And they can
like
book the place for the night or for however long they want. And we're getting ready to do some. We have ongoing repairs, so if there's something that comes up and we have a repair scheduled, we'll just try to work that into another date for you that will work for us if the first date you chose doesn't work. So we have to keep the house going. So that's important for us to stay on track with renovations and construction and stuff. So at this point.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now I guess I can get to my question about, I was going to ask it and then I thought of something else, and so did Dan. But now I'd like to give you this opportunity. So, let us know, let the listeners know what sort of things do you have coming up? What should they know about? All that. What is, what do we need to know about you?
Where can your fans meet you?
Yeah.
Meet
How
me
can they get it?
online.
How can they get a hold of you? What do you have coming up? Do you have any appearances, anything like that?
Spurrier psych ward. No, just tune in with your mind. You might be able to reach me, because I'm pretty good at getting those messages, but don't make it weird. No, it's like it's a growing thing for me. I'm trying to put together the justinspurrier.com, and I just haven't had a moment. That'll be the greatest place, because for me anyway, not claiming the greatest thing in the world, but it'll be a place to go all and get everything all at once, kind of like what you have going on over there with your Daniel Klaes page. So people have it all in one spot to come and see everything, and that'll make it super easy. But for now, you kind of just have to type me in different places, and I'll pop up. And the things I'm working on, yeah, don't you hate it when they always say, "Oh my God, I really shouldn't say, I can't say," but there's some cool stuff. We're on the edge of it. It's like so exciting.
So basically,
I don't want to say
everybody
yet,
needs
but
to stay tuned. They need to
top
stay
secret.
tuned. You've got some exciting things coming up. Stay tuned. They got to keep a lookout. Follow you on Twitter, on Facebook, everywhere, to keep up with what you've got going on.
It's a bunch of crap. No one likes to hear that. I mean, really.
That's a cop
No,
out,
I mean,
but hey,
I
gets
should
us
just
through the
say,
question.
yeah. I could say the truth. I have started writing a book, and this next year will be the 5th year, and so the years have caught up to the page number that I'm on. So I have written 5 pages of my book, and I did it all in a short time, and then years have passed since I've worked on that again. So I take on too many things at once, and I have to set them down and
that's my problem.
Just tackle little things. And as I'm tackling these things, something pops in my face and says, "Look at me! You need to come here. You need to explore this, or you need to try this." And so I'm always doing experiments. So I'm the weird guy who probably has a hoarding collection of electronics and different devices, and my family will hate me when I'm gone because I'll have to get rid of all this. But to me, it's like exciting because I can put all these things together like a mad scientist who's never had any training, and that excites me. So
awesome.
I'm always working on something, so I can't tell you I know what's coming up, because one day something might actually be excellent and I'll share it with the world. But until then, yeah, it's kind of just Periscope and chill, baby. You know.
There you go. Periscope and chill. But you don't want to say that because I heard that Netflix and chill meant something else. So don't say Periscope and chill.
Oh, boy.
Oh, guess I need to look that one up.
Just say, watch me on Periscope, folks.
Oh my goodness, you guys are a lot of fun. I really appreciate it, and so much to talk about. You know, we can maybe meet up and have lunch sometime.
I'd like to do that
talk
again.
For
it was
hours
nice
about all this stuff.
Are you gonna be at the Paracon in Michigan again this year?
I'm hoping so. You know what's funny is today I've been wearing my shirt.
You might be doing that.
Yeah, well, there's always those things that I never really know. I'm one of those people that like, oh, okay, if I'm going to leave, I have to do it in the next 30 minutes. And that's kind of how it. And so I'll tell my wife, I'm like, I might be leaving about 3 in the morning. If I'm not here in the morning when you wake up, like that's probably where I went. And that's just kind of how I am. I wait till the last minute to see if I'm feeling it. Because sometimes I get those bad vibes, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't go. Maybe I shouldn't do this. And so purchasing things way ahead is just not my style.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a new phone, and then I'm like first in line for anything, you know, cutting edge. And I'm like, sign me up. But I waste a lot of money on stuff like that. But when it comes to these things like traveling, and I'm like, no, wait it out, see if I'm feeling it, and so, yeah, I may or may not go to Michigan, but I do love that event. That's a great event.
That is good.
Awesome.
One of my favorites. And if you're going to be there, then I'll wear my shirt that I'm actually wearing today. I don't think I've worn it but once or twice since we had our picture taken, Dan. But
nice.
There you
the
go.
old Roslyn shirt.
Yeah.
Hunt and Ghost.
Hunt and Ghost shirt. Yeah.
I love it.
I got a new one this weekend in Salem, Parahor. The Parahor shirt. Those have been popping up all over the place.
They have been. A lot of people have those. Good
Those
thing
are
you've
Scott
got that.
Griswold
So
shirts.
it's the Scott Griswold. Yeah, so my Parahor shirt is in like brand new condition because I just don't wear it around my kids. Because you know, like what's that? One day I forgot, but they didn't say anything.
What's a whore, Daddy?
Yeah, and I think Scott gave me that shirt at a Chicago Ghost Conference like 5 or 6 or more years ago, and I was like so excited. And it's probably the blackest shirt still I have because I don't get to wear it enough. Because it's just one of those things when I'm always with my kids. I'm like, my daughter, she don't need to see that. But you know, I go on the road. I'm like, here you go, look at me. Everyone knows that shirt. It's probably the most popular paranormal shirt out there.
You're right about that because that's actually been. I think it's been one of the ones that's been around the longest. Maybe
yeah, that one and Show Me Your Orbs, but you just don't see that too often. Or not often enough.
Show me your orbs.
Dee's never heard that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jeez. Oh.
Yeah. Eat your pickles, kids.
That's right.
Yeah, at least it's the same.
Oh my gosh, I am so gonna make some custom shirts like Jolly Green Giant, and he's gonna be in a pickle suit or something. It's just gonna. I've got to go somewhere with this pickle thing and tacos and.
Oh, we should make taco shirts.
I don't want to hear anything about you promising taco anything. Like, you know, don't even talk about it. Come on. I'm like Joey Gladstone. Joey Gladstone over here. Come on now, cut it out.
Or we could just be like, let's taco about ghosts.
Is that still a thing?
Joey Gladstone?
Yeah, it is. He's made a comeback, hasn't he?
Yeah, cut it out.
I don't know.
Oh God,
I never left his side.
Netflix. Fuller House now.
Oh, Dan, Tia Summerhalder says, I just want to give a shout out to Dan for trying to quit soda. It's hard. I'm also quitting. It's very, very hard. So you've got somebody acknowledging your efforts.
I can't get close enough to I'm afraid to lose service. So I try to see what you guys are doing over there. Eat your pickles, kids. I can read that from here. Oh my God. I'm trying to see what everyone's doing on the screen, but I don't want to go out of range of the Wi-Fi. And I don't see blue hair on Dan yet.
No,
so
that's coming.
There's the eat your pickles, kids.
He says it's coming as she's got this pickle plug over your face. I'm like looking and trying to see your hair, and she's moving this thing over.
And
okay, so it's on its way.
Yes.
Oh, Daniel. There it is. It's peeking. It's peeking. There's the pickles.
Daniel's son. It's peeking.
Your pickle's peeking. That sounded bad.
God. Wait for it.
Now that design that I flashed across the screen is on sale on shirts for $3.60 on the Smelly Belly TV site. If anybody wants to get your Eat Your Pickles Kids shirt, get it. Go get it. They should pay me to advertise.
They should. We should get them as sponsors. You're flashing their logo over here, telling people to go eat their pickles. So,
well,
yeah.
That's also a good word when you're using spirit boxes. You know?
Mm-hmm. Pickles.
Yeah.
Pickle?
Pickle. Say pickle.
Yeah.
Say pickle.
Cheyenne Travis Walden wants to know, she says, are you going to the hotel and are you going to be live on Periscope soon?
He just answered that.
That's the million-dollar question. So I've been there quite a bit recently. Mm-hmm. And, you know, as often as I can go, the hard thing, this is what sucks, you guys, I'll drive up there, because I love doing this for people. I'll drive up there. It's a 2-hour round trip, and I'll set these dolls up, I was actually setting my phone there, leaving one of my phones there overnight, and everyone's like, because some people prefer to have an actual phone. The audio is just better than it is on these cameras a lot of times. And so I'll leave my phone there, and I'll drive all the way home, and then I'll lose the connection. And I'm like, crap. So we got these security cameras. That's exciting. And so now I'll set stuff up, and I'll pull in my driveway, and the doll will be thrown off. And then it's like, well, there's nothing else to choose for. Now they're left watching the ladder and nothing else. You know, the ball's already gone. So that's when we started adding more, too. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to make this 2-hour round trip and burn my gas up for these spirits to knock something over, they're going to have to knock a few things over. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of also... It just
seems like...
So I'm driving up there doing that.
While they appreciate that you're doing all that, it seems like they're getting a little, I don't know, a little restless.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yes.
Oh no, did we lose him? I heard sounded like a clicking sound.
Uh-oh. Justin, are you there?
Justin's gone, and you just got big again.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh, maybe we're on hold.
Justin, where'd you go? Oh, maybe we are on hold.
Yeah. Oh no, he's gone. You just got big.
Is he? Oh, that's not good. And we're getting to the end of the hour there. I don't know if I should just call him back or we should just close it out because it's we're practically at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, you're big.
Yeah, I am. You need to fix that. What shall we do? I'll leave it up to you.
I would say call him back, close out the show, and do it properly. We can't just let him go out like that, you know?
we can't let him end like that.
All right. The Spurrier fans may get angry at us if we did that.
You are right.
We got to think of the Spurrier fans.
Yes, we do. I agree with you. I'm going to call him back and tell him this is the last time we're calling him. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Man, I wish I could fix this here. There. It was working for a second.
Okay.
I mean, I'm trying to fix you, you know.
Fix me.
I'm trying. There. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
It's just not working?
I don't hear him.
Is it even dialing?
Yep, I'm trying again.
Did you run out of minutes?
No. You saw what happened earlier. I lost him, and then I tried calling him again, and nothing. All right.
Let's see.
Okay.
I don't know.
Is he back on?
I'm not sure.
Oh, no.
It's not calling.
He'd messaged me, I didn't get to say goodbye. I'm telling him that I'm trying to call him back.
Maybe his phone died. Well, I mean, I guess we could say goodbye for him.
Let me try one more time,
All right.
guys. I am trying. Try one more time. I don't want to let him end it like
Well,
that.
if guys, if you're concerned about him not being able to say goodbye, it's all Dee's fault.
No, it's not.
It's her Skype.
I don't need more people being angry at me. Okay, come on. Come on. Come back on. I'm
She's
putting
feeling
it in there.
She's feeling it, guys. She knows she's in trouble for hanging up on him.
I didn't hang up on him. Where'd he go?
Spurrier fans revolt.
Oh, come on, Spurrier. Where'd you go? He says, I'm waiting. See, guys, I'm
Oh,
talking.
wait, he's waiting. He's
So never write down.
waiting.
I'm calling, and it's not. Let's try again.
Still
Come on now.
waiting.
Let's do this again. Ugh.
Ugh. This is so interesting.
Right.
It says, I don't know what it says. I don't really get Skype. I can call one person and that's about all I can do.
Well, I called you. You could probably try adding him, because I'm trying and it's not working.
Let me see. Add?
And then you just dial his number.
Alright, let's see. Let's do this. Let's try adding him that way. Wait, I think I... Go ahead, add him.
Did you get him?
I don't know. I don't know what it's doing.
I know. I keep pressing the plus here. I like click it and I'm like add, and then I go over here and I dial his number, and it says it's.
Yeah, I don't know. That didn't work. Remember those errors that you had back in the day? I don't know.
And he says, so weird that this happened. I have full service.
Huh.
It must be a Skype thing then.
I don't know.
See, but Skype always does this.
It's Skype's fault.
It is. Ugh.
Here, try Skype
Dogs.
again.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I was gonna let him say goodbye to everybody. He's got a bunch of people.
Hold on,
that
I'm trying.
watching.
I'm trying him. Let's see.
Okay, you try him. Okay.
There's little lines.
Now it's
Word!
working.
I did it.
Ah, yay! You got it. Woohoo!
I did it.
What?
I fixed it.
I don't know what happened, you guys. I don't think it's on my end, but it could be.
No, it's definitely Denise. We were blaming
No,
Denise.
don't blame me.
We told all the Spurrier fans to revolt.
They're gonna revolt against me.
Look.
Look.
I lost all of my pickle mojo and momentum I had going.
People in the chat room said that this happened last night to Ted's show too. So.
Ted Wolf?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So see.
It's Skype.
Yeah.
I think it's Skype. Because they're trying to do these updates or whatever, and there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way than Skype. So, anyways,
right?
Justin, you didn't get to have a
proper
goodbye to everybody, and they were like, "Oh no." So, give it up, buddy.
Okay. Well, well, thank you guys. First of all, you guys are amazing, and always enjoyed the double D's from the sidelines, and now I'm here in the middle of them. So
yeah,
you are.
And thank you to everyone who tuned in. I mean, I'm sorry we had so many difficulties, and Denise dropped the ball, dropped the pickle.
It's normal.
Denise dropped the pickle and messed it up.
I would have thought with Moon being around that the Telmex would be much better, but hey, you know what? That is what it is.
You know what happened is that he's got such incredible energy. I'll move out of the way so everyone can say hi. See, there he is. There's the moon man. I'll stay like this to make him uncomfortable.
Wait, can I make Moon bigger? Yeah, we'll just make him bigger.
You can make him bigger. You
Put
can
little devil antlers on his head.
So as soon as he walked in the room, we started having these technical difficulties. So it might be the moon energy.
Oh, there you go.
That's a full moon, guys.
Oh, she's the only one laughing right now.
I know.
She cracked herself up. I'm sure he's probably heard those jokes one too many times. I know what that's like when you know.
I'm a big dork.
Never heard that before. That's the best way, though.
Never heard that one before, D. Never heard that one before at all.
Yeah, it's been fun, you guys. I really appreciate it, and everyone that tuned in and watched and supports all the time. That's amazing. I'm sorry I'm not always streaming, but I do want to start doing more. I'm trying to, and yeah, I'll definitely be firing one off soon enough.
Awesome.
1858hotel.com, guys.
1858hotel.com is where you can go there. And
there you go.
And me is just type in my name and pretty much anywhere, or Spurrier Paranormal, and that'll bring me up somewhere, nice. YouTube or even LinkedIn, you can find me.
Yes. He is on LinkedIn. I can concur.
I'm laughing at a comment in the Paranormal Warehouse chat room. Joe Shermanek says, "Oh, D is mooning us."
Nice.
I technically did moon everybody. I moved off to the side, and everyone is.
Yeah, he kind of eclipsed from behind.
He is a perfect eclipse.
He is
of
a
the heart.
Yeah, I can't even see the screen, so I'm just kind of going off of what you said. But the moon eclipsed from behind. It's a full moon.
And just so you know, people do want you to. They're like, "Yes, please, Justin, go do it." They want to see that. Yeah. Periscope.
Do it. You can do it.
Do it. You can do it, Justin. You can do it.
I appreciate
it. There you go.
Yeah, I haven't slept since I talked to you last night, Dan. So I don't know how long I'll last tonight. I do have to get up in super early hours again in the morning. But
if you could get a scope on for everybody, they'd appreciate it. Head over there and get that scope going.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do that. Actually, you just wait, and let's do it right. You're not gonna wait. But yeah, it's definitely coming as quick as I can.
Awesome.
Part of the reason is the computer it has to be cooperating 100% because I don't want to let it go. As soon as I go to bed, the stream goes off, and then I got pissed off people in the morning like, "Been a black screen for 4 hours." Well, go to bed. Go to bed. Don't look at the black screen. It'll come back on when I wake up. Get some sleep. I can't help it. But I got a lot of people who thankfully tell me ahead of time, "Hey, you're having some problems." And then I have the people that say, "Oh my God, is this ever going to get fixed? This is ridiculous." So you have both kinds. It's like some people are loving and some are just the others. Pickles.
Yes.
Pickles. I just felt the need to say pickles. But anywho, yeah, this was a great show. I really enjoyed having you on. It was great. It was awesome. And again, what's that website again? The Garnet House Hotel website?
1858hotel.com.
1858hotel.com, guys. Go on that website and you can learn whatever you need and catch up and keep up with Justin's stuff. And follow him on Twitter, Facebook,
Periscope.
And keep up with all.
Periscope? More importantly, that's where it all happens.
More importantly. So there you go. And thanks for coming on the show tonight. And hopefully we can have you back on our show in the future.
Absolutely. And we can talk about paranormal stuff then, instead of food and pickles and ice cream and moon pies.
Yeah, that's right. Moon pies.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much, and have a great evening, everyone, and have an awesome tomorrow. That's
Thank you.
It's all about.
You too.
Right.
And everybody that joined us tonight, thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. It's been great. You guys are awesome. Thanks for sharing. Tune in again next week. Same time, same place. And tomorrow, don't forget to tune into Box Talk with Mooney and Dee here on ParanormalWarehouse.com, live on Facebook. Love you all so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, smile, and remember to make someone else smile too. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Alrighty.
Not done yet.